Alright, I have a battle against Kool-Aid, who is the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah! So he leads with Yan Mega, and I lead with Feraligatr because I wanted to use a different lead than the last battle, but in the last battle we had so many hacks and stuff happen that we decided to have another battle because he broke sleep claws and stuff. But anyway, he decides to put UNO into sleep because he doesn't like that song, and everybody knows that song is epic. And by putting me to sleep, he means turning down my radio because I'm playing it so loud. Actually, I don't think they'd play that song on the radio, but you know what I mean. So he decides to bug Buzz as I go into I see you because it's actually kind of stupid because Reggie Ice doesn't have any eyes yet it can see. But yeah. So I decide to charge my laser and fire it at the Clefable, which does practically nothing, but does power up my gun some more. And we eat apples and whatnot, and he decides to wave some tea at me and somehow paralyzes me. And I blow some icy wind at it because, I mean, who wouldn't? And there's no telling what happens to Clefable's body while that happens because of cold air and the fact that it's a female, but I'm not going there. So he throws up the Reggie Ice into the air because it's just super strong like that and apparently can do that. And I probably shouldn't have made a substitute there because, I mean, seriously, his seismic toss is just going to break it anyways. I already calculated that much. And the fact that I'm paralyzed doesn't exactly help either. So I decided to charge my laser and fire it again because it helps to raise my special attack and do more damage to this thing because it's like Blissy's mutated twin from another marriage or something like that. And he decides to throw it up in the air again because that's pretty much all he can do. And I blow more icy wind at it, doing God knows what to its anatomy. And it lowers its speed again because of the whole biological process and whatnot, even though it's not a reptile. And I decided to bring ICU back because I can't see anymore, and because of the horrible sights I've seen with its cold body. And I decided to send out Naisu Boto Daio and set up a sub, and he can't hit my submarine with T because it's a submarine. And I decided to make the water in the sub go everywhere and attack it with that. And he decides to throw my submarine up in the air, but since I'm underwater, it's not going to do as much, and my sub doesn't break in half. So I ice beam it because we're in the Arctic and there's a bunch of icebergs everywhere, so I have to make some sort of Titanic reference now. And he decides to bring out this guy, and he starts trying to get calm because he's really upset about the fact that he's lost his lover to the icebergs on the Titanic. And some oil starts leaking from the Titanic, and he gets poisoned. So I switch out because I really don't want to deal with this guy. I know he's going to break my sub and whatnot, and I can't touch him with my moveset. And he eats apples and trying to quell the fact that he's lost his love. And he psychics me and reads my mind and finds out I don't have any eyes and kills me. And calls me a liar for not having eyes and saying I can see him. So he gets hurt by the oil, and I send out this shark pedophile, and he goes out to this dragon thing, and I decide to call him names. Ha ha, stupid dragon, your name is Biatch and you're not a girl. And he decides to get all outraged and dance with dragons, and he dragon claws me. So I bring out Dr. Tran because he's a real doctor. He has a PhD in kicking your ass, even though he doesn't have any legs. Well, I mean, he has legs, but he doesn't have any kicking moves. So he fire fangs, and he decides to set up Stealth Rock because, I mean, it wouldn't be a standard match without Stealth Rocks. I mean, come on, people. Where would we be without Stealth Rocks? So he decides to protect because he's trying to stall me or something, I guess. I don't know. And I bring back Dr. Tran and bring back out the You and Owen because that song is awesome. I mean, seriously. Who doesn't like that song? So he hits me down to 64 HP. And I figured at this point he might try to overpredict, but he decides to just go ahead and thunderbolt me. I mean, if I had a ground on my team, that would have been epic, but I apparently don't. So I decided to bring back out Dr. Tran because I can threaten him with Earthquake and whatnot, but he's smarter than that, and I'm smarter than that too, so I Ironhead him. And yeah, that could be taken in a really, really bad way because I'm a male Dr. Tran and whatnot. So I decided to bring out my pedophile shark again, and it gets hit by stones because that's how the police catch them. They lay stones out, and they get caught up in the stones and die. So I Night Slash and attempt to molest him because it's a child molester, and it doesn't work as it U-turns and gets out of there. So he says no and runs, and brings out an adult or a friend that he can trust, or a police officer. And Pedophile Shark goes to sleep because he thinks that the police can't get him if he goes back into his Pokeball and sleeps. So he dances with dragons because he's apparently not a bulky Dragonite, and he can't take hits that well, I guess, but he manages to be faster than my Raikou, which I'm not really surprised about, but I figured after one Dragon Dance it wouldn't be that big of a problem, but apparently it is. So Kodammit dies, and I bring back out my nice boat, which gets hit by the rocks and damages the hull, and he's able to just destroy the rest of my boat. And it's a sad story when the boat sinks. So Dr. Tran comes back out and gets hit by Earthquake, and I figured that it would be slower than me, but apparently it's not. And I get pwned in the ass by it, because Dr. Tran is all cursey and whatnot, I guess. And I bring out my Pedophile Shark, and it dies to the stones that the police set up earlier. So yeah, good game, Kool-Aid. Oh yeah!